Welcome to your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 756. If you are writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing your book but you need some help getting it done, you are in the right place. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh. If you're looking for me online, look for Christine Inc., like that stuff we write with. Each day, I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 19 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that three things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they have the ability to turn someone who maybe doesn't even really maybe think they can write a book into a published book author. Those three things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. "The truth about a man, as much as about a country or an institution, is better than legend, myth, and falsehood." Aga Khan. Today, once again, good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Today, I am going to dig into my specialty area and the type of book that I absolutely love helping authors to write, which is self-help memoirs, also called memoirs with a message, where the power of your life story is transformed into the power to change someone else's life story. The architecture of a self-help memoir varies, of course, depending on the story and message and who the author is. But if you are considering writing this type of book, here are three basic structures I've identified for you to play with and make your own. Structure number one. One way you might go would be to tell your complete story first, whatever version of your life story you've crafted to tell your memoir. And a quick reminder about the main distinction between a biography and a memoir. A biography is more of a tell-all. Hey, this happened, then this happened, then this happened. A memoir is more creative. It's more editorial. It's a narrative sculpted to tell your life story from a specific point of view or for a specific purpose. So in this structure number one that we're calling it here, you would tell your complete memoir first, followed by a section with all your additional content or teaching or messaging or some kind of big idea that you want to roll out to your audience. This structure works best if you have a fairly big piece of information you want to deliver to readers, some sort of knowledge model. Therefore, it's great for business, personal, and self-development authors. You get to combine the undisputed power of building rapport by sharing your personal story with delivering the knowledge your readers can use to change their lives. So that is self-help memoir structure number one. Story followed by message. And by the way, it's always story first, no question. Without your story, it's highly unlikely that the reader will trust your message. Structure number two. And this one is also ideal for business, personal, and professional development authors. In this structure, rather than wait until the second section of the book to share your specific knowledge and your ideas and, the teaching with your readers, you'll do it more at the end of each chapter. And this doesn't have to mean strictly the old school workbook style of, self-help book where you have the bulleted takeaways. Here's what we've learned at the end of each chapter. It can absolutely be that if that's what your book wants it to be. It can be that cut and dry, but it can also be more subtle, especially if you don't want to disrupt your memoir storytelling with this kind of abrupt, takeaways and lessons at the end of each chapter. So rather than doing that, how about tell your stories in each chapter, your memoir, and then highlight the lessons you learned from those stories in a closing section at the end, not as blatantly as conclusion, okay, that's my story, here's what I learned. Try to use your writing abilities to blend story and message together a little bit more seamlessly so you can write a conclusion for the end of each chapter that really is a blend of story, but it's really highlighting a lot of the lessons you learned in that chapter in your life story. And structure number three, finally, and speaking of seamless, a truly seamless self-help memoir structure is the most challenging one to write because in this architecture, you are aiming to blend lessons and knowledge directly into your memoir. So ideally, without even drawing your reader's attention to the fact that you're doing it. So it really on the surface looks like a memoir, but as the expert author that you are, the expert craftsman, the artisan that you are, what you're going to do is blend it in. So you're going for a true old school memoir here on the surface, but in the development phase, and this is the key, it's in the development phase. That's where you're really working to figure out in your architecture how you can weave in these lessons and ideas and knowledge and all the things that you want your reader to walk away with. In the development phase, you're really going to figure out how you're going to seamlessly weave those things into your story, into your memoir, without alerting your reader so much to like, this is the thing that you're learning. So Structure number 3 is definitely the most challenging one, but it's also just, for me, just one of the most interesting and beautiful, especially, from a literary standpoint, most narratively beautiful book to read, where you have a memoir and you're learning all these things and you don't even realize you learned them until you finish the book. So those are 3 potential structures to play with if you are writing a memoir, a self-help memoir. So do you have questions about which structure is best for your book? Please ask your questions in my Inc. authors group on Facebook, and I will do my best to help you out. I always drop the link in the show notes. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I am helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And I would so appreciate it if you could subscribe and or follow the show wherever you happen to be listening to it, and leave a review while you're at it. Thank you. Until tomorrow, happy writing.